Welcome back to round 3 of the East Roswell Frisbee Trail Championship. This is the 2018 edition. It's our final round, and leading us off will be Walton Satcher at 14 under par. I'm 2 behind at 12 under. Dustin Perry at 11. We got Joey Lutz and Matt Versola at 9 under par. We'll start on hole number 1, sponsored by Jam Baskets. 381 feet. Turns to the right and then straightens back out. This hole scores like a par 4, I can promise you that. That is not going to stop Walton from attacking it right off the bat. Now, normally in my casual rounds, with this being my home course, I always go backhand off the tee here and try to get up there for the 2, but it leads to lots of 4s, so I'm playing the thumber during the tournament.
Perfectly.
I got the par 3 on rounds 1 and 2, but I pulled that thumber a little bit there. It's going to give me a longer upshot than I'd like. Dustin tries to attack on a tighter line. Now there's 2 trees in the dead center of the fairway, right at the top of the hill when it starts to turn right. And I mean, those things are just blocking every perfect shot. So Dustin hit the one on the right there. Or actually, Dustin was challenging the inside line on those trees and hit an earlier tree. Versola goes just a little bit wider than he was wanting to, but he punched through enough stuff. He should be able to scramble for a par save there. If you guys haven't seen Matt Versola play before, he has an incredible forehand. So does Joey Lutz, but Joey elects to go backhand here on hole 1 and throws the most beautiful tee shot we've seen probably ever on film on hole number 1. Very nice upshot from Dustin from the back right side. So I'm going to try to go with the hyzer. It's kind of a weird line here, so really I just need to pop it up, and there's only 1 tree in the gap from here, so I kind of aim at it. And yep, I hit it, so it's going to be an early bogey for me. And there's that Matt Versola forehand I was talking about a minute ago. He has very nice touch on that. Also lots of power, so you can see him really crank him out there on longer distances. Putting with a soft envy there. Tried to give it a bib, but didn't quite get the height. Joey will get the height. Nice little straddle birdie putt uphill around that tree. That is an excellent 2. I can tell you I've played probably 40 or so rounds at East Roswell this year, and I've only birdied hole 1 time the entire year. So really hard deuce. Great job by Joey to get that one. Everyone else is going to card the 3 except for me. I'm going to take the 4 there on hole number 1. And just like that, Walton's out to a 3-stroke lead, moving into hole 2. Hole 2 is the short birdie hole, 211 feet. I've aced this one a couple times with thumbers. I believe Joey's going with a red harp there. Looks like he pulled it out a little wider than he wanted to, but got through that initial gap. He's going to hit something before he gets to the green. He'll still have a really long putt, though. Probably just outside the circle. Walton goes thumber. Wasn't as good as he was hoping. Dustin tries that backhand line, which is really tough. And instead of keeping it straight like we talked about in round 2, he kind of turned it a little bit. And those trees on the right side will definitely make you pay for the early turnover on the backhand.
Yeah, Bill.
What was I say? Somebody, please.
That was my Proton Insanity that I threw the thumber with there.
That worked.
You will definitely see me throw that disc a lot on this course. It's about a speed 9 or 10 understable between fairway and distance driver, and I just love to throw hyzer flips with it. Also quick flipping overhand, so you'll see it several times. So Joey is about circle's edge. He's got an uphill putt. This is to go 2 for 2 to start, which is very rare at East Roswell because of how hard hole 1 is. Very nice putt from Joey, and that will get him that deuce, 2 under par, through 2 holes. Walt makes a nice little putt there to save his par. You don't want to be scrambling on hole 2, but if you are, you got to get that par save. Versola also looking for a par save here on hole 2. And just like me in hole 1, Versola is going to take the bogey here on hole number 2.
What do those end up being?
So me and Joey will be the only ones carding the birdie there. Walt and Dustin will take pars, and Versola will have a bogey. We'll move to hole 3. Another bonus birdie hole. Says 371, plays more like 440-ish, I'd say, because of the angle you're forced to take. Joey doesn't really try to park it there. He just kind of throws the sidearm through the main gap to basically take the shortcut on the hole. A lot of the backhanders you'll see play the wide gap and just challenge that tree out wide left, like I'm doing here.
There you go. That'll work.
And that was the look of a man who knows he just came up almost 100 feet short. Probably not that far, but like I said, the hole plays a lot longer than it looks, or than it says. Dustin's going to go outside line. If you remember last round, he took it too tight and had to make a really great save from the right side. Looks like he decides to play it a little safer. Matt Versola with a slip, but he threw something super flippy and fast. He's still way out there. He's going to have a birdie putt, probably the closest drive in the group, even after slipping.
I've seen a meme about it.
While those weren't a bunch of great drives, everyone's out here in the open and gets a long look at a birdie at least. Usually means the easy par on 3. And if you don't hit that initial gap, you can definitely get into some trouble on this hole and find a bogey pretty easy. So Joey, for the extremely rare 3-for-3 start. Oh, and he gives a great bid, but he's not going to come away with a birdie. Holy spinning putter. It just keeps spinning and spinning. Great bid from Dustin, trying to grab that bonus birdie after playing it safe to the left side off the tee. Matty V is going to miss it just chain high to the right. He'll have to settle for the par.
Oh, easy there, killer.
Joey gets a little exploding action off the chains there. He really didn't putt it very hard, but you know, sometimes disc golf baskets just do whatever they want to do. Makes me putt mine extra soft, as you can tell there. So after 3 holes, Walt still has that 2-stroke lead on me. Dustin and Joey are 3 strokes back, and Versola's fallen back a little bit. He's only an 8 under total now. He's 6 strokes off the lead. Hole 4 is a hole that all these guys are going to want to get. As you can see, we got a little bit of wind cooking up here. And the basket's in the middle of those trees straight ahead, and there we go. You're going to see it now. Nice looking shot from Joey. Might have come in just a little bit short. On this one, I like to err on the side of going deep, usually. That's why I throw a faster disc. Looks like I clubbed up from the vault that I've been throwing. I parked it in rounds 1 and 2 with the vault, but the headwind maybe made me switch to a raft. I think I overthrew it just a little bit. If this hole has a headwind, it plays really tough. It's only, I think, 320 or 340 feet, but because it's uphill and you're kind of blocked right off the tee, you don't feel all the wind that's coming over the hill there. It makes it a pretty tough hole when it's windy. But man, it's definitely a hole that I want to birdie every time, because there's not a lot of holes on this course where you can throw all the way to the circle's edge without any trees being in your way. Matt Versola gives a great line there, but it's just going to be a little too high. He's going to have a comeback putt after that one. Joey looks to be just outside the circle again.
Nice. Yeah.
Joey with the stepper. I don't know if I've seen Joey do the stepper too much, but that was a nice putt. Dead center make. I was stuck with a really weird line. I kind of had to like straddle right, but still putt it with hyzer and hit a gap. Yeah, it was a tough putt. Dustin Perry's putt wasn't too easy there. He was able to convert. Man, Matty V's disc got way further back there than I thought it did. Matty is not happy after carding bogeys on holes 2 and 4. So Walt maintains that 2-stroke lead, but now we've got 3 guys tied 2 strokes back. We've got a serious race going on here. Walt trying to keep that lead. Alright, hole 5 coming in at 400 feet downhill. Got to hit that first gap. You got to keep it low because there's a lot of cabbage hanging up there in the middle of that tee, or the first gap off the tee shot. Joey keeps it low, doesn't quite turn it enough. He'll be down there for an easy 3 though. Man, Dustin and I both fall victim to that left side first tree. I kind of do aim at that tree with a kind of overstable disc and just throw a little anhyzer at it because I want to turn right in front of that tree, because the closer you take it to those trees on the left, the less branches that are hanging out into the fairway. So definitely paid the price though. Should have just tried to pipe the middle. Versola gets the next tree in that line. We're going to have some saving to do. Oh boy, I went with the Electron Envy there. That was my flippiest one, but because it was such a touch shot and it needed to kind of flatten out, I didn't throw it hard enough. And even though that's my most beat up Envy, it still has a little late stability there. Great upshot from Dustin. Fancy little forehand that skips him right by the pin. Walt catches a little roll away on that putt, because we've seen that before on this hole. Holy cow, Joey from the hillside almost cards the deuce. He's only a few inches away from being 5 down through 5, which would be absolutely the best start I've ever seen at East Roswell. Good putt from Versola. Walt still had to make a little comebacker there. I believe that was for the 4. Oh, Dustin misses a little bit short. He's definitely going to want that one back. Hole 5 has done some separating. We did have 3 guys tied for second. And now it's just Joey. So Walt comes back 1. He's at 13 under. Joey's now only 1 stroke off the lead after starting pretty far back there. He has solo second. Me and Dustin right behind him. Moved to hole 6. Beautiful hole. Uphill. Kind of a turnover. That one tree in the fairway. Joey misses to the wrong side of that tree, but he's right in the middle of the fairway. That should be an easy up and down. Versola's going to take the forehand here. Hard to get all the way to the pin without cheating a little bit outside left. He was not trying to go that far left, that's for sure. It's going to be a tough spot to save from. Dustin plays the exact line you're looking for, but he needs more turnover in that disc. I'm going to go Insanity and just throw a terrible shot. Oh man, that is not good. I would say in my last, I don't know, 40 or 50 rounds here, I've not thrown a tee shot that poor on this hole. But I'll get to climb into the swamp to try and throw out of it. I literally have not thrown from the swamp this entire year.
That wasn't close at all. I don't know what you're talking about.
If you heard me say that wasn't close at all, I was being totally facetious. I almost hit that first tree again, the exact same tree that I hit with that tee shot, with that thumber. Got a little lucky. Should give me like a 50-footer to try and save par. Everybody else trying to scramble from this hillside. If you don't land in the fairway on this hole, it is a rough time trying to get up and down. Once again, Joey's got an outside the circle long look at birdie. That one was a little bit longer. That was outside circle too. He just chips it on up there. He's going to get an easy 3. With everybody else kind of struggling around him, that is a good play.
Great putt. There you go.
Bang, bang. MTV with the big putt there. We were almost in the same place. I was probably 15 feet to the right of him and a little bit closer, but it was definitely nice to see MTV hit that big putt and kind of inspire me. I don't know if you guys know this, but right now I live in an apartment that's only about a mile from East Roswell Park, and Versola lives in like the apartment right beside me, so we're basically the two closest players to this course, or at least the two closest pro players to this course. So it's pretty cool to see us both on the lead card here. Lead card here for this final round of the Frisbee Trail Championship. So Walton takes a bogey, and all of a sudden Joey is tied for the lead. So Joey and Walt are at 12 under, and even though I went bogey par on those last two, I'm only one stroke back of the lead now. Joey goes with the forehand on hole 7. Backhand's definitely the play, but you're going to see both these guys who are excellent forehanders try and throw one here. Gosh. When Versola parks this whole forehand, it's one of the prettiest shots you'll ever see because it's just totally meant for a backhand, but those guys both really know how to throw the forehand, so they trust it in all situations. I go matrix, pull a little bit to the right, but find an extra salty hole and slide on back to the middle.
Back to the middle.
You definitely used that bit of luck with the way this round has started fairly rough.
Shot one.
Alright, Walt's going to get himself up there for a long birdie putt. Walt's not having a great round, but he's still right there. So he has to, keep his head in the game and try to battle for this win. Speaking of battling for this win, Dustin was stuck at the very bottom of what we refer to as Death Valley. Wow.
Yes, sir.
That was a bad.
So I didn't get to see that in person. I was over on the left side, but I heard all those guys hooting and hollering about it. If you see there, Joey was trying to throw it through that big hole in front of him on the right side, and he grip locked his forehand with that putter and went to the left of the gap and somehow found a hole between those trees and got up there. He'll have an easy par afterwards. I almost was able to convert on the sneaky birdie, but not quite. I did see an opportunity there to tie back for the lead, didn't quite get up in there, and then Walt actually turned out to be pretty darn close. So Walt's going to grab himself a birdie. Shaking his head though, not a happy camper. But he should be. He's just pulled back into the lead, and Joey's one behind, and I am two behind. Dustin and Versola are at 8 and 7 under. Hole 8, the short par 4. Joey throws a very nice little safe forehand. In round 2, he was definitely trying to get further up in there, but looks like he's playing it super safe today. Versola was probably not trying to play it as safe. Versola likes to try and get way up there with the forehand, and when you do that, you have to play it really close to this first tree on the left. Just trying to play my little skip shot up into the right side and caught the tree in the middle of that gap. Dustin throws a nice, safe forehand. He doesn't try to get very far up there. He plays more the flex. The flex is a lot safer than the hyzer flip that Joey and Versola are playing, but it's just because they have such a good forehand that they try for that high degree of difficulty to hopefully get closer to the pin. So the right side on this hole is death, and you're seeing Versola and Walton both have just hacked some trees on shots 1 and 2. Although Versola dials up the magician backdoor local route and parks it from way back in the right side. It's going to be a great save for a 4. I mean, you want to card the 3 on this one, it being an easy par 4, but man, you hit right side early twice. Getting a 3 is a miracle. I mean, getting a 4 is a miracle. I'm going to grab the birdie 3 here on hole number 8. And even though it's a soft birdie, it feels good. Haven't had a birdie since hole number 2. And Versola does get up and down for the 4 there. So Versola and Walt start out to some serious trouble, but both save 4 with amazing shots. Walt is now tied for the lead with Joey. So Joey, for the first time in this round, is tied for the lead. Going into the last hole of this video, hole number 9. Hole 9 is it's a little left to right, or it turns right to left, then left to right. Oh boy, hit the tree in the center of the gap over there and kick hard right. That's going to be a really tough save. When you hit a tree on this hole, because you're almost certainly going to hit a tree at some point, if you kick into the fairway, it's all good. You'll have some kind of chance. But man, if you kick off the fairway, there's almost no chance of getting up and down, because you usually have to pitch back to the fairway. So if you're off the fairway to start, you can't really advance. I say that, and then Versola throws an amazing shot, but he was so short on the hole that he still had kind of a access, I guess, to the mouth of the beginning of the fairway. Regardless, it was a really sick sidearm that he threw to get him up there. I believe that was Walt's harp. He got away with one a little bit there. He turned it over too much. I think a root may have stopped him from getting all the way to the pin, but he'll have a long downhill putt.
Come on.
Joey's going sidearm from a knee with that harp again, and that is an excellent shot. Slides around the backside there. Should be about a 15-footer to save the par. Yeah, I kind of had to throw that sidearm back into the fairway and then have to turn to the right. Looks like I went with a wrath. Got one of these trees, though, and that putt is not going to go in, so that's going to be a bogey for me, and that's really going to hurt my chances. I know I'm going to have to catch super fire in the back 9 to have a chance to win this. Walt makes a great putt there to save the par. And Versola, after hitting that super early tree, is also going to save par. That was an incredible save for Matt Versola. A whole bunch of good saves here on hole number 9. No one's going to get down there for the birdie. I'm going to tap in the envy from the backside for my bogey. And I believe Dustin's just tapping in the old par there. Nope, me and Dustin both got 4s, so going into the last video, which will be our final 9, you'll have Joey Lutz and Walton Satcher tied for the lead. I'm 2 strokes back, Dustin Perry's 3 back, and Matty Versola is 6 off the lead. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please check back for round 3, back 9. It's the final 9, lots of crazy action, I can promise you that. Big shout out to our presenting sponsor, Rule 18, and also a big shout out to my sponsor, MVP Disc Sports, who also sponsored these videos. Thank you guys for watching, and check back for the last video.